Hey folks, what is going on? It's Jacob coming at you with another video. Hope you're all doing really well. Coming at you on a Monday afternoon from the Gold Coast in Australia. And in this one, I want to tell you a little story, and then I want to talk to you about a big mistake that I see a lot of beginners in the online business making that can add up to costing a lot of money over a long period of time, right? Assuming you're in this game because you want to be in it for years and years, decades ideally, and making this mistake repeatedly, which I see so many beginners doing, can be really expensive long term, like huge losses. That's what I want to talk to you about in this one. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Give this video a like if you get any value from it. If you want to join the private Facebook group, there'll be a link in the description. I'm really active over there and we have a good time and talk about all this info marketing stuff. It'd be great to have you there. But with that out of the way, let me roll the intro real quick and we'll jump into this one. Alrighty, so let's kick it off with a quick little story. So I got a message this morning from one of my 8-figure mentors, so a guy that I work with on an ongoing basis. I'm part of a 12-month program with him, and he's done some amazing things for me, shifting my perspective around what is possible, changing some of my mindset beliefs around, I guess, how profits are generated and how it doesn't always have to be tied to the sheer hard work. I've come from a corporate background where I used to do massive hours, and the biggest thing in my arsenal has been hard work, and he's been opening my eyes around where you can find opportunities to kind of intercept flow and really arbitrage opportunity, which means that money doesn't always have to be tied to how hard you are able to work, right? Because you reach a cap at a certain point. Anyway, so this guy pinged me a message this morning and he said, hey man, I'd be interested in doing a joint venture on a certain project. I can't talk about any details yet, but we'll see what happens. That's not so much the point. The real lesson here, which I see so many people having trouble with, or they just don't understand it, or they're not mature enough in their business journey to understand it, is the power of relationships and nurturing your network. Once you learn the basic tactics and you understand how the game works, it just keeps becoming more and more about people, right? Like that was a multi-5-figure investment. It was $24,000 for the year to get into his 12-month program. And you learn a lot tactically, strategically, but it's more about, as I said before, shifting your perspective and getting in the room with the right people. I've seen it time and time again with people who just burn bridges in this space. They'll burn bridges with mentors, they'll burn bridges with clients because they don't manage things correctly, and they think too much about today and not enough about the long term. We've had people who we've helped and nurtured, and then they just turn around and kind of slap you in the face once they think that, oh, I don't need you anymore, or, you know, I've got it all figured out now, I've made $10,000 in a month, whatever. It's short-sighted, it's stupid. It's so stupid. So they turn around and essentially say, you know, fuck you, and do something dumb, right? Like they'll try and poach your customers, or they'll do something stupid, or they'll badmouth you to try and, you know, raise their own status because it's the only strategy that they know, or, you know, they'll try and put your programs down to promote their own shit, which is probably just a copycat of yours anyway because they don't have the capacity to think for themselves. But they fuck up, right? They fuck up. And, you know, it's partly their fault because they do dumb shit, but it's also partly they just don't know any better. And you can tell people stuff, and you can tell people stuff, and you can tell people stuff, but until they experience the pain of that mistake, it doesn't really sink in. That mistake of burning bridges may not be costly today, it may not be costly tomorrow, but I can tell you over months and years, the opportunities that are missed by burning those bridges can be in the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, depending on who it is that you're burning bridges with. Like, you know, I got 2 guys that I work with on the Super Affiliate Accelerator, and we have a great relationship. I've kind of head up that team over the last couple of years, and those guys have stayed loyal to me. I've messed stuff up. I'm the first one to put my hand up and own that. We're all figuring this shit out along the way, but they've stayed loyal to me the entire way. And because of that, we've done some amazing stuff together, and in the grand scheme of things, we're just getting started. We have a long way to go together, and it's going to be an awesome ride, right? But on the flip side, you know, I've had people that I've helped take from 0 to 30 grand a month, and then you'll hear about them bad-mouthing you, or you'll hear about them saying, you know, they're changing the story about how they got where they are, copying your stuff, to similar pathways in terms of like Jamie, who's one of the guys in SAA with me. He just hit his first 40 grand month, and the guy's never stopped being loyal. The guy's never stopped being appreciative of how I've helped him. And then, as I said, I've also helped other people get to that point, and they turn around and go, F you. It's because they are too focused on, oh, well, maybe if I say that, they'll buy my thing instead of Jacob's, and I'll close this sale now. And you make that 5 grand, whatever the sale's worth to you at that point in time, you've just burnt a relationship that we could have done a mastermind together when I come to wherever they live. We could have JV'd on a project. We could have run a program together. We could have done a workshop together that pulls in a quick 50K. Could have done anything, but you burn these bridges to try and make a quick buck. You turn your back on people who've helped you a lot to try and make a quick buck, and it's fucking stupid. And I see people doing it time and time and time and time again. They do not get it. So here's my lesson, here's my message to you today, is from day one, nurture your relationships in your business, keep growing your network, actively grow it. SAA came about because, well, one of the reasons that it came about, Jamie sent me a message, and I was down in Melbourne where he lives, and he said, hey man, saw you're in town, do you want to get coffee or a beer? I said, sure. That sparked that relationship, and then the rest is history. And I was in touch with Chris at the time, and I roped him into it. Your network is immensely, immensely valuable. As with the message that I got this morning, it all comes back to your network. What rooms are you in? And then when you get into that room, doing the right thing, being a good student or being a good mentor, depending on the relevant dynamic, and nurturing it and nurturing it and nurturing it over time. And being willing to do things for other people in your network, even if you don't get an immediate financial return. I've sent so much business to ClickFunnels. I've sent so much business to Legendary Marketer. I've sent so much business to people who have mentored me without affiliate links, right? Yes, some cases there's affiliate links, but in a lot of cases there's not. I still send people over to Greg Jeffries, who was my first mentor in this space. I don't have an affiliate link for his thing right now. I just say, go talk to him if you want to learn about affiliate marketing and blogging. If you nurture your audience in that way, and I don't go, oh, Greg, I sent you a customer. You just do it. You just say, go talk to them, right? You put it out, it'll come back in the long term, right? And that's how you really, really nurture and grow it. The other thing too is remembering where you've come from and remembering the people that have helped you along the way. I think people really, really forget this. Whenever I tell my story, whenever people ask me, how did I get where I am? I always do my absolute best job to name the people who helped me along the way. And someone actually asked me this question the other day. They're like, oh, should I tell people about, especially in this internet marketing world, which can get quite competitive. People ask, they say, oh, should I tell people who's helped me? They might go buy from them. Absolutely. Mention the names of the people that have helped you along the way. It's going to come back in spades, in a huge, 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 huge way. That's the way that I would recommend that you tackle it. And I think it'll serve you really well long term. Without getting too woo-woo and like into mindset and stuff, it comes from an abundant perspective as opposed to a scarce perspective. And the people that are out there turning their backs on people that have helped them and doing whatever they can to close the sale, even if it means burning bridges, they're coming from a place of massive scarcity. Just scarce thinking patterns. Because they're like, oh shit, well, if I don't make this sale, maybe I don't hit my target for the month, or they'll go buy from someone else, or if I say, oh, Jacob helped me, or so-and-so helped me, then they might go buy from them instead. It's a really bad way to live. So nurture that network. Build it, pay the money to get in the right rooms with the right people, and then contribute to those groups, contribute value. Be a good student, be coachable, follow their training, follow their advice. And if they help you, tell people about it. Tell people they helped you. That gets them more business, which is win-win. That's how you keep growing and expanding, and then you make more money, and then you can reinvest to get into circles with higher and higher level people along the way. This is something you can start doing from day one. This isn't something that you have to wait till you get to a certain point in order to do. You start from day one by being conscious about, how am I building my network? Who am I including in my network? Am I aggressively trying to grow it every day? How can I contribute value to the other people in my network? Not expecting anything in return, but knowing that long term it'll come back to you if you keep nurturing it. That's the way to think about it. And I would encourage you from day one in your online business to think that way, because you just never know what can happen. Like the message I got this morning. Like when Jamie sent me the message and said, hey, do you want to have coffee or grab a beer? He's now a 2 Comma Club winner, less than 2 years later. Pretty cool. And it all comes down to people, right? People talk about business to business, business to consumer. It's all people to people. There's different business models, but nothing happens without 2 people sitting across from the table from each other, be that literally or through a funnel or through a messenger conversation or a phone call or whatever. But nothing happens without 2 people agreeing to make a deal. Never forget that, and it'll serve you really, really well. It all comes back to people. So start building that network now, start nurturing those relationships, keep investing to get into the right circles, keep spending money on leveling up the people that you're surrounding yourself with to expand that network, but also to expand your thinking about what's possible, about how they see the world. And it's not just about income levels, it's about experience. It's about things that they've tried, it's about what they've seen, right? About what they've done right and they've done wrong. Paying to expedite your journey from their lessons. The ROI will be enormous. That $24,000 I spent on that mastermind I was telling you about will be worth multiple 7 figures to me over the years, if not more, if not 8 figures, just from the perspective shifting stuff that I've found out, right? And then that also has a trickle down benefit for the people that I work with, the people that I help, my clients, because they get a better version of me showing up. They get more value from me showing up because of the lessons and the experiences that I can take away from that investment. And it all flows on. All right, so that's my lesson for you today. That's my lesson for you as we head into this last quarter of the year. Really focus on building and nurturing your relationships and your network. And over the long term, it'll pay off massively. I hope you have a fantastic week. I'll talk to you all in the next video. Be sure to join the Facebook group. Links in the description. Cheers.
La 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 la.